10 tips for playing guitar live. We can start preparing for the performance by putting new strings on the guitar the day before the concert. This will give the strings time to stabilize their tuning. If you recently put strings on your guitar and don't want to change them, it's a good idea to carry a string lubricant and cleaner to give them a once-in-a-while check. This use of new or lightly used strings is essential, as we are better guitarists with strings in good condition than with strings that have some wear. You can try it. Plus, we'll get a better sound from strings in good condition. It's also a good idea to carry a cloth to clean the neck if necessary. For example, if it's hot and your hands sweat, the neck can become excessively wet. If you play with your nails, don't forget a nail file, just in case. In the event that your nails get caught in the strings, or to repair a minor accidental break, a nail file can help solve or minimize these problems. If you play with a pick, it never hurts to carry extra picks. It's very common to have spare picks on hand, either on the guitar itself or attached to the microphone stand. It's always much better to set up all the equipment with plenty of time, check that everything works perfectly, and do a little rehearsal to adjust the amplifier's equalization. While you're at it, we'll get accustomed to the hall a bit and check that everything sounds perfect. It's always best to play on a raised stage to fully exploit the sound of our amp, but this is often not possible. In such case, people can act as a barrier and obscure our sound for the people behind the front rows. The solution might be to elevate the amp, and we'll avoid the trench effect. You can use anything, a small table or chair will do, and we can lean the amp back a little so it points slightly upward. This technique of elevating or leaning the amp backward is always useful, even for rehearsals or playing at home, since a floor-level amp wastes a lot of sound. We also need to warm up the tubes thoroughly before we start playing. We can leave the amp on for 10 minutes before the gig starts. This way, the amp will be at the optimal temperature for playing. It's important to remember that we should never move the amplifier once the valves have heated up, as this could damage them. So once it's turned off, we should leave the amplifier still in its place until the valves cool down. Cooling time depends on room temperature, but it's a good idea to let it sit for at least 15 minutes. It's essential not to drink too much, not even too much water. Feeling like you have to urinate on stage is very counterproductive. So if you drink 2 liters of beer before playing, you can prepare for the perfect storm. If we feel a little discouraged before giving it our all on stage, we can have a small glass to lift our spirits. But don't overdo it, or the mess-up could be epic. In any case, playing around with alcohol can lead us astray if we're adults, and if we're minors, you know you can't even touch it. The worst part is the beginning, but after a couple of songs and getting warmed up, you won't want to leave the stage. We can start with a song that we've worked on a lot, and that isn't too complicated to play to loosen up a bit. Something we can't forget is to check our guitar's tuning from time to time. Indoors, the temperature can change, and this will surely affect our tuning. We must avoid surprises and act accordingly if they arise. Obviously, with time and experience, everything will eventually work out smoothly. Ignoring the stupids is a basic rule. If they throw something at you, all you have to do is dodge it if you can and keep playing as if nothing happened. Guitarist Slash gave us a good example at this concert. I'll explain the action step by step. Here we see the fool coming out from behind, does something stupid, Slash enduring the ride and continuing to play as if nothing had happened. The singer looks to see if there are any idiots left to leave. Let's analyze the play in more detail. Here we have idiot number 1, and here we have idiot number 2, for letting idiot number 1 pass. Stupid number 2 thinks, if I don't catch this idiot, I'll lose my job. Here the two merge in a deadly embrace. The security guards in the pit keep watch ahead, oblivious to the 2 large projectiles lurking behind them. Slash glances briefly at the two possibly dead men. He puts his hat back on and continues playing. It's clear this isn't his first time on stage. That's a well-established professional.